Shalom, giving all praise and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, and brothers from Donald Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole field, like this is Brother Rai Banyamian here to share our lesson. And inspiration for this lesson came, I was watching a CBS News report yesterday. And it talked about, the army being desperate, for new recruits since it's been done these last few years. A lot of the youths are not passing the physical aspect of the training as well as the mental or educational, which goes to show you the decline in the society. More men are more feminized because of the advancement of the feminist agenda. Right, you have more women taking the roles of men, and more men either falling back or taking the roles of women, and then you have the nasty people agenda that is growing. And soon, we won't be able to speak on them. As per the law that was passed in Michigan a few days ago. So things is ramping up, man, and Esau, is desperate to get his numbers, and as you'll see, I'm gonna play this report to some degree, but as you'll see, a lot of Jake is gonna fill in the gaps of the military, which they're gonna be destroyed, at the end, when our Lord come. So I'm gonna share this article as per USA Today, story by Tom Vandenbroek, and fill in a few scriptures here and there. So Lord willing, it be edifying unto the elect. Alright, so here we go. To say the army is desperate for smart, fit soldiers. Says how these 200 million fit camps get recruits into shape. Washington says Patricia Limburger's recruit moment happened at her lowest point. She failed her military entrance exam 8 times, and her dream of joining the army felt like it was slipping away. That's when her DoorDash route took her to Brigadier General Richard Harrison's driveway last summer. She approached me and she says, "Oh my God, you're a sign from God," Harrison recalled. It kind of struck me like, why? I've got 3 kids and a wife, and no one's ever called me a sign of God. Says, whether providence or coincidence, the meeting between a prospective entry-level soldier and an army general was preposterous. The army, the largest branch of the U.S. military, has been desperate for recruits. And the 23-year-old from Chesterfield, Virginia, desperately wanted to join its ranks. It says, 2 problems. Limburger couldn't pass the military academic test, and she didn't meet height and weight standards. The military needs smart troops to operate sophisticated, expensive weapons, and young people fit to fight. Okay, so there's the chick right here. It says Limburger had a lot of company. Fewer than 1 in 4 young people qualify academically or physically to join the military. With a booming jobs market, even fewer young people consider the military as an option. The result, the worst recruiting environment in the 50-year history of all volunteer military. spending more than 100 million this year for Army fitness schools. So where they couldn't get in, they have facilities to get them into shape before, and I guess test them afterwards to see where they're at. It says that crisis has prompted the Army to spend more than 100 million this year to open schools to bring recruits who fall short of the standards into mental and physical shape. Harrison, who had been stationed at nearby Fort Eustis at the Army's Training and Doctrine Command, told Lindbergh about the new program called the Future Soldier Preparatory Course. It tutors young people like Lindbergh on the military entrance exam on how to get physically fit. The pilot program at Fort Jackson in South Carolina expanded in January, and by June, more than 6,800 recruits had graduated to basic training. The program is expected to cost around $119 million in fiscal year 2023, including potential expansion to other installations. The cost for 2024 is estimated at $95 million. The Army needs the recruits. The school produces. Last year, the Army fell more than 15,000 recruits short of its target of 60,000 in 2022. Wow. Military recruiting problems generally coincide with low unemployment as young people opt for jobs in the private sector or attend college. In February, unemployment was at the lowest mark in 54 years. It was ticked up by 3.7%, but remains historically low. That spells trouble for the Pentagon, which celebrated the 50th anniversary of All Volunteer Force on July 1st. The unpopular draft ended in 1973 as the U.S. military warmed down its presence in Vietnam. Another factor today, only about 23% of Americans aged 17 to 24 have the academic and physical qualifications to serve. Yeah, this generation is weaker, man. Struggling to meet recruitment goals. Army Secretary Christine Wormuth has told Congress that the Army will struggle to meet its its goal of 65,000 recruits this year. She testified that graduates of the preparatory course had performed well in basic training. Their attrition rate is lower than average. We brought them up to our standards and they felt good about it, Harrison said. But there are caveats. Studies have shown that there's a correlation between higher test scores on the entrance exam and performing military tasks well, said Beth Ash, a senior economist at the RAND Corporation think tank and an expert on recruitment. Accepting too many recruits who struggle academically could be problematic. It's potentially concerning, Ash said. For example, researchers found that recruits who scored higher on military aptitude tests were more likely to kill targets with the Patriot anti-aircraft system than those with lower scores. They followed instructions better and used fewer missiles. That's no small matter given a $4 million price tag for a Patriot interceptor. You could save a lot of money because now you're using fewer missiles, I said. Raising the economic standards in the military and coaching recruits on nutrition. Realizing it needs smart troops, the Pentagon set benchmarks for recruiting quality in 1993. It wants 90% of recruits to have high school diplomas, for example, and each branch of the military exceeded that benchmark last year. At least 60% of recruits must score above average on the Armed Forces qualification test. The Army has seen that figure edge closer to the minimum, dropping from 62.9% in 2020 to 60.2% last year. The Pentagon limits to 4% recruits it can accept who score in 10th and 30th percentile of the test, a group referred to as Category 4. Last year, 3.9% of the Army recruits belong in Category 4. Wormwood told Congress that the Army will not lower its standards or sacrifice quality over quantity. Coaching prospective recruits on nutrition and exercise is more likely to have lasting results than a 3-week course that helps them improve their test scores. I said the Army will need to track soldiers who graduate from the program and measure their success to determine if the program works as intended, she said. Next heading, a good fit. What General Harris saw in Limburger, he said was a young woman who wanted to serve her country and wasn't determined by the setbacks. The preparatory course seemed like a good fit for her. Students increased their test scores by an average of 18.5 points, and those in the fitness trap losing an average of 1.8 body fat each week. I really saw the passion in her eyes, he said. She wanted to be a soldier more than anything. I'm a father and I have 2 daughters and a son, and I would want someone that's in position to help my kids to do that. Limburger, the first language is Tagalog, spoken in the Philippines, and she had stumbled on English comprehension and vocabulary portion of the test, she said. The minimal score to join the Army is 31. After 3 weeks at Fort Jackson, Limburger's score jumped from 18 to 49, she said. Limburger's said she viewed the Army as a place to become an independent adult. See, that goes with the narrative, You saw one for these women, man. She and Harrison stayed in touch by text, with the general offering the prospective recruit encouragement. So you see that join the military to become an independent adult. She didn't want to cook that rice at home for her husband. You know what I mean? Which means she's going to be hauled out to the military. Well, I tell you, man. This place is ass backwards. Next heading, losing 25 pounds with the help of a trainer. And these women are simple, man. She warmed up, heading that needing Slovakia, that encouragement. The 3-week course at Fort Jackson helped her pass the academic portion of the test, but when she prepared to enlist, Limburger fell short of the physical requirement. With the help of a trainer, Limburger lost 25 pounds. When she came back for me to enlist her, she looked totally different with that weight loss, Harrison said, and she was so excited. Basic training at Fort Jackson, Limburger said, didn't worry her because instructors had prepared her for it physically and mentally. Harrison attended Limburger's graduation 32 years after he completed basic training at the same place. My opinion is that she wants to pay it back for the opportunity the army gave her. He said, I think she's gonna be an amazing soldier. Limburger now completing advanced training to be an army cook at Fort Greg Adams in Virginia. She likes the job and took the advice of an instructor to heart. We should cook the way we want to eat, Limburger said, because maybe that food would be the last meal a soldier eats. It really gave me a lot of motivation to cook well, she said, and that concludes the article. Yeah, I mean, so Esau is desperate, man. So I'm gonna go into a few scriptures. I may play this video. So the first portion of scripture I want to share is in the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. It says, the pride of thy heart had deceived thee. Thou dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? All right, so one of the ways Esau Edom, with the pride of his heart, he's going to recruit more people. So more bodies he's going to throw at the battle of Jehoshaphat against the Most High. Hoping and thinking that he will win, but he won't, man. This is the end of this man. This man is desperate. He's backed into, a corner. But this is what the Lord said in the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, and verse 16. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. He's going to judge all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So many Jakes are joined these military ranks within these last days. It's going to be put down, man, as well as Esau, Edom, and the other nations. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2. It says, I will also guard all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them. See? Plead with them. Alright? As I just read in Isaiah 66 and 16, he's going to judge them. I will plead with them there for my people and for my inheritance Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You understand? So those who have scattered us across the four places of the earth in different captivities, in different wars, and those who have called themselves, as Jews and are not, and those who have parted the Most High land for themselves. Alright, look at what they're doing in the land of Israel now. They have these different parades, and they have caused great sin in the land. So the Most High is going to destroy Esau, Edom, Amalek, and the other nations that follow him, right? The drink of the wine of this society, and the two-thirds Israelite that join his ranks to fight against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is the last portion of scripture in the book of Revelation, chapter 19, and verse 20. And it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which deceived them that received the mark of the beast, right, which is the MOTB, right, and them that worship the image, right, these philosophies, right, feminism, these different philosophies that keep babbling up, the queer people, so on and so forth. It says, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone. So that is going to be caused by the different nuclear missile, the nuclear missile that's going to hit America, aka Babylon. You understand? So all those that partake of the image and of the wine and of the doctrines and beliefs of the society is going to be burned and destroyed. All right, so let me see if I could play this. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I think it's like a series of different videos and stuff. So I'm gonna leave it there. Alright, so I'll put the heading. The army is desperate for smart, fit soldiers. Alright, so he's doing this for various different reasons, and one of them being for when they have to fight over there in the Middle East. Alright, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying until you elect, and until the next time, shalom.